Welcome to Drag Racing Basics. And tonight I'm going to do a little bit different and a little bit special episode. There's been a lot of talk going on in the local drag racing circles, and particularly the bracket racing circles. And I think this is a topic that doesn't get discussed enough, and it needs to be discussed. And I'm going to do a two-part series here. And the first part's going to be, the whole series is going to be the cost of racing. The first part's going to be from the promoter and track owner standpoint. The second part will be from the car owner, racer, spectator standpoint. And there's a certain value proposition in this for all of us. And the basic premonition is that, and as anyone knows from balancing your own household budget, running your own business, whatever the case may be profitable, you need to have more money coming in than going out. And to break even, you need to have the same amount of money coming in as you have going out. But that's not a good place to be. So a lot of discussion comes up, and a lot of conversations are had, and a lot of comments are made about what track owners and promoters do and do not do for the racer. And I think a lot of people just don't understand the overhead involved with running a track. As a business owner, as a promoter, I have to be profitable. Now, I choose to take any profit I make from my events and put it into the next event. And because I'm doing this more to help support drag racing and support my local track than I am to make money on it. Track owners and promoters, that's all they do. They have to also make a living. They have to feed themselves. They have to feed their family. They have to pay their bills. Have to plan for retirement. All the stuff the rest of us have to do, they have to do it as well. Now, that was a long-winded entry into the actual cost of an event. Now, I've been doing this for about 7 years now. And those of you that know me know that I have my preferred track that I like to promote at, and I work closely with that track. But I have called other tracks and looked at having events in other places. And the numbers I've gotten range from $5,000 to $10,000 to rent a track for one day. Now, on the high end of this would be things like when I did my 5K foot brake nationals, that sort of thing, back when I first started promoting. Some of the tracks out there wanted $10,000. Now, they had overhead that my home track does not have. There was extra county fees involved, extra licensing required, extra insurance required because of the locations of the various tracks. But for this conversation, I'm going to stick to the low end here. What does it take to run a racetrack for a day? What is the promoter or the track owner on the hook for the day they unlock the gate for a given event? Now, since all this got started from some conversations I've been having with some of my supporters and some of my fellow racers about local bracket racing situations, let's look at one of my local bracket events. I'm on the hook for somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000 just for the track for the day. And the reason I give that $1,000 spread, it depends on how much equipment, how much product we use during the day, glue, alcohol, gasoline, to take care of the event, to run the track, to handle anything that comes up, to clean up any spills, that sort of thing. But it basically breaks down like this. We always have an ambulance on hand, and it has a rescue tech on board, and it ranges anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a day. So let's just take the average and say $1,000. Insurance, depending on the type of event you're having, the insurance price goes up and down. So on average, it's somewhere between $1,800 and $2,200. So let's just take the average again and say $2,000 for insurance. Then, as I mentioned, you got glue, gold dust, and alcohol. This is your track prep material. It's about $1,200 worth of stuff right there for the weekend. Now, you got to pay your crew. And that's the guys at the end of the track. That's the guy working the line, the gate, the tower, the guys getting people up onto the staging pad, the announcer, everybody that's actually performing a function at the track, the tech guy. On average, that's about $1,000 a day. Now, you got equipment overhead. That's fuel to run the track blowers, the little Zamboni if you got to do a cleanup, the fuel for the tractor to run the tire rotator, all this various stuff. It don't seem like much, but at the end of the day, It's about $150. Now, you got to pay the light bill, the electric bill. I'm just going to say the light bill. And like any commercial property, the light bill is expensive. So on a 10, 12-hour day, you're going to spend $150. If you get done in 8 hours, I'm sure it's a little less. Then there's trash cleanup. Crew has to come back the next day or stay late that night, and then you got to pay to dump it and all that. You're looking at $250 on a given week. It varies. This is an average. And then the toilets. You got to clean them. You got to restock them. You got to make repairs to them. That's another $250. Now, right here, you're on the hook for $6,000. Now, you may get lucky that day. Let's say you get done early. So the ambulance ended up only being $800. So there, you take $200 off. So now you're at $5,800. It was a total bracket event, so the insurance was a little cheaper. So that puts you at $5,600. You didn't use the whole barrel of glue, and a barrel of glue is $1,000. Let's say you only used half of it, so you get to take off another $500. So minus 200, take off 500. That puts us at $5,100. And then you didn't have a full crew that day. You were 3 or 4 people short, so you get to take a couple $100 off there. So that's going to put you down, what, $4,900. And everything else is just a matter of if you got done soon enough, how many people showed up, that sort of thing. So you're going to be, in this particular day, I'm at $4,900 just doing that, and that's not messing with any of this down here, which can vary a little bit. That day, I have to cover that much just to unlock the gate. This is the track cost of the day. Now, I know that going in. I prepare to pay that. There you go. Now, purses. Everybody wants to get a little something for coming and running their car. No problem. And let me get another piece of paper because that's going to shine right there. Now remember, I'm already on the hook for $4,900. Now let's take one of my double deuce races. I've got top. I've got mod. I've got junior dragster. I've got street. And then I've got my mystery class, we'll call it, because I might do a pro tree bracket. I might have 590s. I might do whatever on any given event day. Alright. Now, I pay $2,000 for top. I pay $2,000 for mod. Let's say $250 for juniors, $250 for street, and the mystery class over here. Let's just make this easy for the conversation here, and let's just say this thing here totals $1,000. Then for top, I'm going to do a grand, junior, I'm going to do 100, street, I'm going to do 100. And then over here, I'm going to do 500 to the semis. So I got 500 times 2. That's a grand. So a grand. And then we're going to do 50 here. So that's another 100. Another 100. And that's its own number. So right here, I'm on the hook. If I guarantee the purse, and I got to find sponsors to cover this. There you go. That's 450. 450 and 1,000 over here. So that's what? That's $900 for these two. $8,000 for these two. And then plus a grand. So $8,900 plus $1,000. 0099. And then add that $4,900 from the other side of the sheet. 0018. I'm looking at a cost of the day of $14,800. Now, let's break that down. If no spectators come, because typically, as has been stated by several people, bracket racing is really not a spectator sport. The people that come to watch us are the people that know us, friends and family. The more of us that are there, the more friends and family are there, and the easier this is to take care of. So that's why I have this extra class up here. This is something different to make interest for the crowd. And if my crowd lets me know that there's a particular type of event they like to see, then I try to take care of that and add that in. Sometimes if the crowd's not telling me what they want to see, the racers want something like a Pro Tree bracket event, something like that, then I go ahead and add it. But people don't stop to think about this. And that's on top, that's everything added together. That's the track overhead and the purses if everything's guaranteed. And we go out and we try to find sponsors, and we're usually pretty lucky about it, and our racers are pretty supportive and they come and show up. And really, ideally, you'd get enough cars in to pay the purse, because the car money goes to this number here, this $8,900. The racer entry and any sponsor money plus sponsor, and you don't know what that's going to be when you say, hey, I'm going to have a race, so that's a big question mark. This right here needs to add up to break even to $9,900. You need to get enough spectator side, and sometimes you get a sponsor that says, hey, they want to pay for the track for today. They don't want to sponsor the event, they want to sponsor the track. So you get some question mark there plus sponsor. That needs to sum up to $4,900 that day. So at $10 to $15 a head, you can do the math. Matter of fact, I'll do the math real quick right here. At $4,900 divided by 15, I'd have to have 326 spectators. Just to pay for the track for the day. Over here, let's see. I usually charge $55. I'm looking at 4,000 divided by 55. Now this is without spectators. I need 73 cars. 73 cars. Juniors, 450 divided by 30. Wait a minute, that's usually 35 at my events. I'm sorry. 450 divided by 35. I need 13 cars in both classes just to break even. There's no profit here yet. That's just to pay for the day with the guaranteed purse and track expenses of $4,900. So I know this is real quick and there's other variables there, but I'm treating this as if, okay, these are pure numbers just totally being paid for by the spectator walking in the gate and what the driver's paid to enter each class, divided by the amount of the prize money. And there's no round money here. This is just winner, runner-up, and semis. I'm usually pretty lucky and I get enough sponsor support that I can round it out and we can at least pay the top prize. But the same thing would apply on a given bracket day. I hope you found this informative, enlightening. If it makes somebody stop and think about what the overhead is and what the real cost of racing is from the track owner standpoint, the promoter standpoint, then this has done its job. It's not unobtainable, obviously, but it is tough sometimes, and in these recent economic times it's been harder and harder to get sponsors, and everybody needs to kind of keep that in mind and remember why we all started racing to start with. We didn't start racing because we were going to go out there and win a bunch of money. We started racing because we love to do it. It's our passion, it's our hobby. We hang out with our friends. It's our own little family of traveling nomads and gypsies, and it's just what we enjoy doing. Some people like to play football, some people play softball, some people play golf, some people fly remote controlled airplanes. All of that has a cost involved. Our costs just tend to be a lot higher, and we get a little more serious about it sometimes. Sometimes we don't, sometimes we do. But there it is. as I said, I hope this helped. Didn't do this to ruffle any feathers. Just did this to be a little bit informative and let everybody know kind of what goes on behind the scenes from a running the business side of it. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Practice your skills, turn them into craftsmanship. Learn a new skill, turn that into craftsmanship. You never know how far it'll take you, and you may surprise yourself at what you come up with. So until next time, thanks for watching. Have a great day. This has been Fab Race Mod Repeat.